Hi everybody, we're going to work on the present tense of ER and IR verbs. So if you remember, we've already done AR verbs, okay? So AR verbs, if you remember, end in O, as, a, amos, and an. And hopefully that rings a bell and you'll remember our verb charts that we've done in class that look like this, okay? With 3 boxes and 3 boxes on the other side. So, yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, ellos hablan. So if you remember that conjugation, then it will be really easy to learn ER and IR verbs because they follow a pattern too. These are the ER verb conjugations. So we're going to divide our little conjugations up into our chart, okay? So, repite. O, es, hemos, en. And you'll notice that they have E's because guess what? They're for ER verbs, just like you saw A's for AR verbs. And we can use the verb comer, which means to practice. And notice it's an ER verb. We're going to take the verb comer. We're going to remove the ending. And we're left with to add on our new ending. So, repite. Yo como. Tú comes. Él, ella come. Nosotros comemos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. So you could write a sentence like ellos comen la sopa. Okay? Or yo como unas uvas. Okay? Oh, I know you guys hate when I write in cursive here. You'll never understand that, right? Okay, we're going to write unas, como unas uvas. Okay, so you'll notice comen, como, they agree with the verb. So on this slide, you definitely need to have written down the correct endings, and you need to give yourself an example. So, if you think about AR verbs, we have o, as, a, amos, ice, but we're not doing that much anymore, an, and then for ER verbs, okay, that's AR. Now for ER verbs, we have o, es, hemos, en. Okay? So where there was an A, now there's an E. Okay? So these are A's and these are E's. Makes sense, right? Okay. Let's keep. Okay, so IR verbs. Let's draw our line down the middle so we can conjugate our verbs and then practice. We're going to put the new endings. We use o, es, just like the ER verbs, just like ER verbs, en, just like ER verbs, and hemos. This is the only time it's different from ER verbs, okay? So this is the I from the IR verbs. Okay, and examples of IR verbs are compartir, escribir, and the other one that they teach you is abrir, I think, in your book. Abrir. So, compartir is to share, escribir is to write, and abrir is to open. Now notice these are IR verbs, not the verb IR that means to go, okay? That still goes voy, vas, va, vamos, van, okay? We're not doing that right now. We're doing a different group of verbs called IR verbs. See, they end in I-R. Okay, so let's do escribir together. So we're going to write escribo, escribes, escribe, escribimos, escriben. Okay, you need to know how to conjugate IR verbs, so you need to make sure you have this chart down. Okay, so notice the difference between ER verbs and IR verbs. So with ER verbs, you have O, S, E, hemos, en. Okay, so we just did O, S, E, hemos, en. And with IR verbs, O, S, E, hemos, en. So really, the big difference is hemos and hemos. The rest is the same, so it's kind of nice for you. Make sure you know that there's only a slight difference between the two. Okay, so the differences between the three verbs, you have hablamos, comemos, compartimos. Okay, so with the AR verb, it has the A in the nosotros form. A ER verb has the E in the nosotros form. And the IR verb has an I in the nosotros form. Amos, hemos, hemos. Repite. Amos, hemos, hemos. Okay, so they sound different. So we did AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. Okay, just to recap. You see here in the to form, you only have the A and the E, so they don't look different. This is an IR verb, but it has an E in it. This is an ER verb, it has an E in it. This is an AR verb, has an A in it. But here in the nosotros form, hablamos, comemos, abrimos. That's the real distinction. So, make sure you write down these verbs. These are the verbs that we're going to be working with. Comer, to eat. Leer, to read. Vender, to sell. Hacer, to do. Escribir, to write. Compartir, to share. Beber, to drink.